this on the computer. All right, guys, so welcome to our team call. Super pumped, super excited. Today is going to be, I think, a call that some of you are going to find extremely valuable, and we're going to be speaking about stories and not necessarily the power of a story, but what goes into crafting a story. And so I think you guys are gonna find this really helpful. And I am, when I first learned about this, I never look at most things the same ever again. I don't look at movies the same. I don't look at advertising the same. I don't look at commercials the same. Because when you start understanding the psychology behind what all marketers are doing, then you will be able to craft something similar for yourself, and then you'll start picking up on it when you are listening to things and watching movies and watching commercials, etc. So first off, thank you guys so much for coming on and spending the next 30 to 40 minutes with me. I'm super, super pumped. This month is going to be absolutely amazing. There's so many new things that are coming this month. There's lots going on, I know right now. And so just kind of speaking to that, I know that right now you may say like, wow, there's a lot going on. There's 2 new programs coming out. There's a coach opportunity call. There's, we have this team call. We have, on Wednesday, there's a new coach call for our new coaches, but there's a lot going on. And then we have Summit. Who's going to Summit on here? Who's going to Summit is excited? Yes, so exciting. And so Summit is 2 weeks from now. And so we're all super, super, super pumped. There's about, close to 20 to 25 people from our team going. And so that's really awesome, really exciting. It's going to be a blast. So what I wanted to do is I made a PowerPoint just to kind of keep myself on track. And if you guys have any questions as I'm kind of going through my stuff, please let me make sure I mute everybody. Okay. But just put questions in the chat and then I'll go ahead and get to them later. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. All right, can you guys see my PowerPoint right there? You guys, okay, perfect. So we're gonna talk about story, the power of story. But first, I wanted to congratulate everyone who had an amazing, amazing month in May. We had, it was absolutely amazing. So shout out to everyone who not only helped one person that matters to, and anyone that was able to help anyone get started on their journey. Kudos to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, because that's what's key, guys. The key is all about meeting customers where they are, irrelevant of Success Club points or not. However, this is the objective measure in our business, and so that's why you see us talk about it so much. So, our top producers, Chelsea at 14, Carla at 8, Hannah at 8, Zakia at 6, Ariel at 6, Jacqueline at 6, and Layla at 6, and then everyone else kind of under. But just really, guys, just understanding that you are helping change lives, right? At the end of the day, I look at the work that we're doing as, bringing a solution to a much needed problem that people have. We are giving them a solution to a better life. We're giving them a solution to more time with their family in the future, to more energy with their family. So just really, really keep that in mind. And thank you so much for all of you who just put yourself out there, followed up, you did all the vital behaviors, you stayed consistent, because you matter. All right, just a couple quick things. I wanted you guys to be aware. So Lift 4 and Mes de Mas are being launched this month. I should say that they're gonna start being available this month. And what I mean by that is these 2 programs will be available on Beachbody On Demand. However, they will not be available to everyone on Beachbody On Demand until October 1st, okay? So that's number 1, the first thing for you to understand. So it won't be available to everyone until October 1st. October 1st, it's gonna be free. It's gonna be part of the catalog in that sense. And so people would not have to order anything. However, what they're doing now, what they've shifted to after the 80-day obsession launch is that we're now gonna have a VIP sneak peek access from July 16th all the way to October 1st. And so for anyone who wants to be a part of, who wants to start the program now and wants to be a part of our groups now with this program, they're gonna have to unlock it or purchase a challenge pack to do that. or purchase one of the bundles that I'm going to show you guys right now, just so that you guys are all familiar with. So that's July 16th is when the whole program, which I mean all of the workouts, become available. However, starting June 11th, which is next week, starting June 11th, we're going to be able to start sending people the challenge pack links and the bundle links, and people can order them. And when they order them, they're going to get access to 4 videos from each program, okay? So they'll get access to 4 videos, and those 4 videos, kind of similar to like A Little Obsessed, you know how we had that kind of sneak peek with those workouts, but they're gonna have access to 4 videos, and they're gonna have those videos, you know, indefinitely once they make their purchase starting on June 11th. And then they'll also have access to all the nutrition guide for the program, and any of the program materials, they'll have access to that, okay? So that's what you'll see. You may see people, myself, I know Ariel, other coaches promoting about a test group, about VIP access. That's what they're referring to, using that language to help people to create that kind of, you know, that scarcity, and also just saying like, this is really cool, to get them involved and to let them know that this is something they want to do. I know I'm torn right now as to which one I'm going to do. I'm still trying to debate which one I'm going to do first, but I'm really, really excited. I am currently in the middle of my cleanse, and so once my cleanse is done, I'm going to go right back into my workouts. So I posted these in the team page, but I wanted you guys to just be familiar with them. I made these. I used Canva to make these, guys. So like these are things that we could, Canva's fantastic if you haven't started playing around with Canva. But for new coaches and new customers who do not have Beachbody On Demand, it's going to be the challenge pack for Lift 4. The most popular one is usually the middle one, which comes with 30 days of Shakeology. It comes with Recover. It comes with Energize 1 month. It comes with a shaker cup. It comes with bands, and it comes with Beachbody On Demand for a year, and the Lift access. So for the Lift 4 access, the early access. And so that's going to be $240 US dollars. And then it's going to be an extra $10 off if they order before July 31st. Okay. So these are there for you to kind of look. And I honestly, guys, this is what I use. These are also in the sneak peek for the for the group. So also keep that in mind. But when I'm speaking to customers one-on-one, when I'm doing my follow-ups, that's why I provided these tools for you, so that you can save them on your phone. And for a tip for some of you who may not know, what I do is, in my photos, what I do is you see the little heart at the bottom of the photo? What I do is anything that I know, you see again, the heart for those of you who just looked up. You see that little heart at the bottom, guys? Okay, so for those of you on the iPhone specifically, because I have an iPhone, but what that does is that anything that I know I'm going to use over and over and over again, like something like this, or the 2B mindset, or my before and after, for example, I put a heart, and then what that does is that it saves it to my favorites album. And then that's easy access for that when I'm talking to customers, to be able to send them the quick picture, or to show them my before and after or whatever. But what I do is that when I do my follow-ups from the sneak peek, or when I'm talking with people, I say, okay, super excited. After I know what their goals are, then I say, okay, these are the different packages. Choose which one is best for you. And I send them the image, and I let them choose. And I don't have to go explaining anything. And so that's my process. That's what I use. So I just wanted to give you that and let you know that this is here. And then for those of us, the coaches, you have different options. You can get the accessory bundle, which is $150 US dollars, and that's going to give you Energize and Recover for a month, plus the performance line. Or you can do the accessory bundle without the Energize and the Recover, and that's $59.95, and that's going to give you the resistance bands. And if you already have the resistance bands, then it's $39.95 to digitally unlock the program. With all these other packages, guys, just keep in mind, with all these other packages, the bundles, you would get a printed version, but if you don't care for that type of stuff, then the digital unlock is just going to get you the digital unlock, okay? So it's $39.95 US dollars. We get 25% off of that, okay, as coaches. So it's an additional 25% off the $39.95. And this is for both, similar prices are for both for Mess Than Muss as well. So just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. That's what's going on. And so utilize the team informational group for your prospects. We created it with units. Another thing when it comes to the units, when it comes to utilizing that group with the units, I know for me, and some of you may have already recognized that not everyone goes through the units, right? So like you put them in there and they're like, no, I didn't have an opportunity to take a listen, or I didn't have an opportunity to go through it. That's why follow-up is so important. We cannot just rely on just having them go through it and expect them to just kind of go through it and learn everything, and then they're going to come to you and be like, I'm ready. No, we have to be willing to follow up with them, see what they did learn, see where they are, and then offer the resources accordingly. If we need to send them the video, we send them the video. If we need to send them the packages, explanation like this, one of these graphics, we do that. Okay? All right, so those are all the announcements that I have. Oh, another one. If you hit Success Club this month, the Success Club prize is a webinar with Rachel Hollis, which is pretty awesome. For those of you who don't know who Rachel Hollis is, she has a really popular book right now. It's called like Girl Wash Your Face or something like that. It's called Girl Wash Your Face. And it's a really awesome book. And so I'm super excited that they have her and they got her to come and speak to us. So just kind of keep that in mind as a push for you, as a prize, the Success Club webinar, for hitting Success Club, the webinar. All right. So let's talk about story, guys. And this is going to be super important. I hope that you guys take notes and really start practicing this and start applying this to your business. Okay, and to your social media. So people, and you may some of this you may say, you know what, she's right, but like people learn best in stories. They learn best in metaphors and stories. I was actually in a recent mastermind, somebody was saying like this is the #1 way that people really learn. You think about ancient civilizations, that's how they used to remember things. They used to make up a story and tell a story. Think of, story, metaphors, and songs, right? You think about little kids and how they sing songs. And so people learn best in stories. And so when it comes to your story and what you're sharing on social media, understanding that clarity, if you can become very clear about who you're speaking to and why you're speaking to them, that will beat creativity, okay? The messaging matters most. That is what matters most. So you may say, well, I'm not super creative, or I can't make this post look pretty, et cetera, but recognizing that clarity, if you can get really clear, and guys, clarity takes time. It takes thought. I will be honest, the past 12 months, I've been working on refining more and more clarity, even within my messaging. And that clarity may change as you change, as your business grows. However, you have to be working toward it, okay? You have to be recognizing that this is something that you need to make an important part of your business, of understanding and having clarity around what is your messaging as an entrepreneur, as a brand, because essentially that's what you're creating on social media. On social media, you are a brand. And I hope you guys understand that, right? It's not that you're not Beachbody, you are you, and you are the brand. And so you're crafting and creating this brand. And so really, looking at yourself and really sitting down, pen to paper, and starting to write down, who is it that you are speaking to? What are their problems? What is it that I'm trying to solve for them with our products? What am I trying to solve for them when they come into our group? Really thinking about that. And we're going to talk about that more here, but just really understanding that if you can make getting clarity a clear thing for you, a clear goal for you, it's going to take time. You're going to be on the right track. Okay. So who are you speaking to? Because understanding that people buy products after reading words that make them want to buy the products. Okay. So it's all in the messaging, and people pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nina could probably attest to this, how much they pay people for copywriting, for coming up. It's just that important. The words and the messaging that you use is extremely important. So three questions that you want to be asking yourself when you're thinking about the story. So what does the hero want? And the hero in this sense, right? Because every story has a hero, right? Every story has a hero and has a villain. Let's take it down to like basics of a story. There's a hero and there's a villain. And that's what we're going to be constructing here as I'm going through this PowerPoint. But every story has a hero. So what does the hero want? And the hero is our customer, okay? The hero is our customer. So what does the hero want? And then who or what is opposing the hero from getting what she wants? So these are the three main questions that all stories are really identifying and addressing. So who or what is opposing the hero from getting what she wants? So for us, right, what do our customers want? Comment in the, actually you guys, this is gonna be interactive because I want you guys to be interactive with me. So comment in the message box, like what is it that our customers want? You know, really thinking about what is it that they want. And maybe this will be good for you guys to see what other people think. And think about what is it that you wanted? Why did you join this group? What was it that you were seeking, okay? So who or what is opposing the hero getting what she wants? And then what will the hero's life look like if she does or does not get what she wants, okay? And so this is what a story should be identifying and clarifying and explaining in its copy, okay? And when I say copy, guys, I'm talking about the actual words, right? So that's what it's explaining. So when you're thinking about your posting and you're thinking about you're crafting your stories of how you're sharing on social media, think about these three things. And again, we're gonna talk a little bit more, but you guys are starting to share. So I'm gonna see. So happiness, yep. So happiness, health, community. Confidence is what I'm seeing. Self-love, a system that works. To feel healthy, stronger, more empowered. She wants purpose, her own project, control over her life. And if she doesn't get it, she'll be depressed. You know, wants to be able to exercise, feel good. Yeah, these are great. She wants to have tried it, or, you know, she wants someone who has tried it or has, that's really good, Blair. That's key. And we're going to talk about that later on. Excellent, guys. These are all great, 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 great. Okay, so let's build your story. So I know this is like, what are these little dots on here? But it'll make sense. So let's build your story, okay? And as we go through it, these are the parts of a story that I want you guys to be keeping in mind. So the first part of any story starts with a character, right? So it starts with a character. So the customer is the hero, okay? The customer is the hero in your story, and that is what you're crafting in your social media, not you. You are not the hero. You don't want to be the hero because the hero has weaknesses. We're going to talk about who you are, but you want to be, you know, the expert. You want to be the one that understands. You want to, so, but the customer is the hero, not, you know, not you, not your brand. Okay, so the character. So you need to be able to define who your character is and what they want, okay? One of the top mistakes that we as coaches make and other brands make, but specifically that we as coaches make, is that we define too many things that people would want. And we need to get really specific and really down to a single focus or maybe 2 or 3 things of what is it that they want. You know, for me, I talk a lot about building confidence. I kind of look at myself as a confidence coach, you know, and so, and maybe you guys are looking through my brand, you may say, well, yes, Stephanie, I can see that. That's what you're doing. You're building confidence, you're inspiring, but I am attacking the lack of confidence in people. That is what I'm defining that they want. And I say, okay, you need to have confidence, you know, and what ties into having confidence? Well, you need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and feel good, right? Like that ties to your confidence. And so that's, you know, and that's where our products come in. And so just really trying to define, you know, what does your character want that you want to serve, that you want to help, and pare down their ambition and what they want to a single focus. So again, common desires. So like gaining status, being healthy, desire to be generous, to have more energy, you know, to have more confidence, to be loved by their family, you know, whatever their desire is, we need to be able to identify that for the customer in our story, because it's extremely important, okay? So that and this also, guys, this also will, when we have that character and we define it, that's gonna allow the right people to come to us, right? Because we wanna make sure that we're specifically helping one person or a specific type of person. We can't help everyone, okay? I hope you guys understand that, right? And I think many of you guys, we cannot be helping everyone. We have to be very focused about who we want to help. And that's really in identifying your avatar too. So identifying your avatar is a good exercise to do when it comes to really defining your character and what she wants. Okay. So the next part of building your story is you have a character who has a problem. Okay. So she has these desires, but she has a problem. And this to me, guys, was for me incredibly enlightening and really powerful for me as someone who is building a brand on social media, as you all are, to really understand this part of it, which is the problem part of it, with a problem. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about that. So they have a problem. So typically, businesses tend to sell solutions to external problems. And I'm gonna help you identify. So external problems are things outside of the person. So for example, someone who needs to fit into a wedding dress, or someone wants to get a job. That is an external problem, okay? So businesses, or let's say for example, your lawn is overgrown. That is an external problem. And so businesses tend to sell solutions to external problems, but customers buy solutions to internal problems, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, is, okay, she wants to fit into the wedding dress. And how does not fitting into the wedding dress make her feel? It makes her feel fat. It makes her feel ugly. It makes her feel disgusted, disappointed, with herself, that she's not having enough self-control. Those are internal problems. Does that make sense? Those internal problems. Or like someone who has a lawn, for example, and it's overgrown. They look at it and they're just frustrated because it looks ugly, and their house looks a mess, and then, they don't have time to go and do it, and so they're frustrated. And so that's an internal problem. And so identifying the customer's problem deepens their interest in your story. And so when you're crafting and writing your story, you have to help them identify the problem. And so every story is about somebody who is trying to solve a problem. So when we identify our customers' problems, they recognize that we understand them. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense that when we're able to share with them what we think the problems are, they're going to say, you know what? She understands what I'm talking about. She gets what I'm doing. And so they have a problem. And so there's 3 types of problems, 3 levels of problems that work together to capture attention. And at the very least, guys, when you're crafting your social media stories, when you're crafting, your call out, your posts that are going to be calling out and asking people to comment and trying to get them to be involved in your group, in your community, or even when you're sharing a story about yourself, you can use the same type of building process on yourself to create a really powerful story. And so at the very least, you should have external problems and internal problems in your story. The philosophical problems are not mandatory. However, if you can get all 3 of them in your story, that's going to really be an amazing story. And I'm going to break it down more just to help you, so you guys can understand a little bit more. So external problems. So the external problems, again, often a physical, tangible problem that the hero, our customer, must overcome. So fit into a wedding dress, fit into their clothes, get a job promotion, mow the lawn, whatever their external problem is. This is where most people stop, and that's the mistake. This is where most marketers or, young brands will stop. And I'll be honest, this is where I was stopping, right? I was saying, hey, you want to get in shape. You want to fit into your clothes. You want to, I wasn't really truly identifying all the time with their internal problems. And so internal problems. And so in every story, the hero struggles with the question, do I have what it takes? Right? Every person, guys, this is like across the board. When people are making stories, the hero is going to ask, do I have what it takes to solve this problem? There's a deeper story that people are living that we need to be willing to touch. Okay? And so how is the problem making them feel? And if you can get good at making your posts in a way where you can really be touching upon the feelings of how people are feeling because of their external problems, you're going to be going on the right track. You're going to see that your posts are going to get more engagement. You're going to see that your posts are going to get more likes, more comments, just because people want to know that there are other people out there who relate to them. But you have to be conscious of this when you're crafting your story. And so how is the problem making them feel? Do they have self-doubt, frustration, emptiness, sadness, disgust, feeling alone? And so really thinking about that. And the best way to think about this is just, again, that's what I did in the beginning. Just ask, thinking about how you felt prior to when you started as a coach, or when you were at your lowest. What were the feelings? What were the thoughts? What were those things that you felt and putting that into your posting and putting that into how you're crafting your story for your social media. And then people buy because the external problems we solve frustrate them. So we need to be able to touch on the emotions. So make sure that you're doing that. So that's internal problem, okay? And then the philosophical problem is it's about the bigger meaning, the bigger question, asking the question why. Why is this just plain wrong that someone is sitting at home alone, feeling depressed, overweight? Why is this wrong? And it's just those single lines of just like, it doesn't need to be this way. You deserve better, right? It's that philosophical, addressing that philosophical problem that you shouldn't be living your life this way, in a sense. You deserve a lot more, right? And if you're listening and if someone's talking to you and they're identifying all these three things, you're gonna be like, wow, like, yeah, like, man, I can't fit into this wedding dress. And, it makes me feel really bad. And it makes me feel, really disgusted with myself, and my confidence is shot. And then she's right. It shouldn't be this way. I deserve better. I deserve to have more energy. I deserve to be happier. So that's how they start empathizing. That's how they start relating to you, if you're able to have these elements in your story. Okay. So asking yourself when you're posting, am I identifying the external problem? Am I identifying at least two internal problems that they may be able to relate to? So a character with a problem meets a guide. And guess who the guide is? You guys are all the guides. We are the guides. And so meets a guide. So customers are not looking for another hero. They are looking for a guide. Remember, the story is not about us. We're not sharing for us. We're sharing to be able to touch and relate to the other person. Human beings wake up there's humans, waking up every single morning self-identifying as the hero, but they're troubled by the internal, external, and philosophical conflicts, and they can't solve these problems on their own, okay? So they need a guide, and this is where we step in, guys. We are the guide. So characteristics of a guide, there's two main characteristics, the big one being empathy. So expresses understanding of the pain and frustration of the hero. Okay, so understanding the pain and frustration of the hero, and then lets customers know we see them as we see ourselves. And so anything that you can do to, and this is where maybe there's a little story sharing on your part, maybe sharing an experience that you had that can empathize with the client, with the customer. So keeping that in mind. And then the second part is authority, which is competence. And so, and that's what kind of Blair was alluding to, that she wants to be with someone who has done what she wants to do, that competence. And so that's in the testimonials. For us in this business, it's all within the testimonials, our own testimonial and the customers that we have helped before. So that's why testimonials, guys, are so incredibly important, to be collecting them as you're helping people, as you are guiding people. It's, you have to be open and asking them, hey, do you mind if you share with me how being a part of this group has helped you so far? You'd be surprised. I've asked people just 2 weeks into being a part of our community, and they will give me some really great words, and I can use that as a testimonial when I am talking to people or when I'm sharing on social media. So that's another thing I want you guys in the back of your mind to write in your notebook, to make it a goal to get testimonials from your customers. To get those testimonials, keep them in a notepad and use them to share, because people want to know that you're helping others. They want to know that you're able to help others. But at the end of the day, our biggest testimonial is ourselves, right? To be honest, it's ourselves. It's our own story that can have the biggest impact, because that shows a commitment, that shows a certain authority to the customer. So keeping that in mind. So you have a character with a problem who meets a guide who gives them a plan. Okay, so now the next part of the story is we need to give them a plan. And when we say, and this, guys, we need to just keep this really, really simple. And the plan usually at most has 3 steps. And it's really important that you identify what those 3 steps are. So maybe for us, for example, we have, we give them the plan. We say, okay, you are going to, comment below. You're going to watch this video. You're going to see if it's a good fit for you. And then we're going to work together on your goals. in a community. And so you're giving them a plan. You're telling them, you're giving them insight into what the process is like. So, and that plan creates clarity for the customer. If you don't identify what the next steps are for them, they're going to be confused, right? When you have people coming to you for this with the same questions over and over and over again, and they're telling you that they're a little confused, that's on your part, because that means you're not being clear enough about what the next steps are, or you're not being clear enough about what they should be paying attention to. So the guide gives them a plan. So keeping it to 3 steps, not having some complicated plan, just 3 steps. And then the call to action is the next step. So have a clear action of what you want them to take. Customers do not take action unless they are challenged to take action. So this is why, guys, this is why ever since I started in the beginning, I used to always just have a line at the bottom of my post, anything related to my fitness, my wellness, and I would say, message me if you want help with your health and wellness. Or now I say, like, comment below, with this emoji if you're interested. I give them a clear call to action, okay? So making sure that in your stories, in your posts, you're letting them know what you want them to do. And a lot of you are good at this, but this is a big part of, especially in marketing, this is a big part of the story. And so so we have a character with a problem who meets a guide, who gives them a plan, calls them to action, and then that results in either success or failure. And this is important too, guys. So we need to, within our story, we need to be able to paint the picture. That's what it's supposed to say, paint. We need to paint the picture clearly of what awful bad things will happen if the hero doesn't overcome her challenge. Okay? And I know this is something I personally also need to do a better job at. I need to paint the picture of what failure looks like if they don't move forward. And I need to paint the picture of what success would look like, and that's the next slide, what success would look like if they move forward. What will the customer lose if they do not buy? Or what will they lose if they don't become a part of our community now? Right? Think about it. What will they lose? They're going to lose more time, right, of feeling unworthy, feeling unhealthy, gaining probably more weight. And then when they finally make a decision later on, they're going to have to, lose more pounds. And so what's at stake? And really identifying and picture and writing that in your words and in your copy so that your customer will get that understanding of what's at stake. So emphasizing the potential loss, because people are motivated by loss aversion. Like they're motivated by knowing, okay, what's at stake? And they'll say, okay, she's right. Like if I don't do this, I'm just gonna gain another 10 pounds. Or if I don't do this, it's gonna be Christmas time and I'm gonna still be overweight and I'm not gonna be able to put on the nice dress that I wanna put on. Or if I don't do this now and I think I can lose weight for my wedding on my own, I'm gonna be frustrated, 2 months before the wedding and I can't fit into my dress, right? Like you get into the psyche of the person because that's what they're probably thinking, especially a bride. It's like, I need to lose the weight. And so just thinking about what's the loss, what's at stake, worsening health risk, gaining more weight, not having enough years with their family, okay? So we need to make sure that we're painting the failure aspect, what's at stake, while also painting what is the vision of success. So never assume that people understand how your brand can change their lives. Don't assume that, guys. We need to tell them, and we need to be confident in what we tell them. Confidence is key in this business if you haven't noticed it already. If you don't believe in these products, I guarantee you're not going to be able to get other people to believe in these products. If you don't believe in the power of the transformation of drinking your Shakeology every day and pressing play every day and following the 2B mindset, if you don't believe in that 100%, because it has, I see my mom with her water bottle. And so if you don't believe in that 100%, trust me, your client is going to know. They're going to see right through that. And so, you need to be willing to tell them painting that picture of success and feeling confident about what success would look like. And so 3 ways to end a story well. So usually a hero will win some sort of power or position. So I was reading up on this, on how to explain this a little better. So this idea is, for example, like Starbucks. Starbucks, for example, gives points, right? And so for people like me who love points, I do anything for points. So people who love me, who love points, their app is a genius. They have like these points games. They have like a game, like you can win 100 points if you like buy 2 more cafe lattes or whatever. It's like branding genius for people like me who I'm like, yes, I want points. I want more points. And so that's a position. That's what they mean here by win some sort of power or position. Another thing is they want success being unified with something that makes them whole. So maybe whatever we're offering will reduce anxiety, will reduce workload, they'll have more time. And so that's, connecting them with what they really want as a whole. And then the last way that people really want to have success is self-realization. And so that's kind of understanding, there's a self-acceptance, there's a self-worth that they gain, there's self-confidence that they gain. This is where we really lie in our coaching network, is within a lot of it is experiencing self-realization that also makes them whole. And so just really painting that picture, guys, of what's at stake, and then painting the picture of what can be, right? And that's really powerful. And that's actually a really good exercise for you to take. And that's why one thing about coaching, guys, that I've learned in coaching, the very basic of what a coach does when they're mentoring someone is they hold the vision of what that person can be until that person is able to realize it. Does that make sense? They hold the vision of who that person can be, how they can look, what type of qualities and characteristics they can attain. They hold that vision until the person, the hero, believes it and accepts it and really steps into it, and then they don't need the coach anymore. That is what we do as coaches. Okay? If you didn't realize that, that's what we do in a nutshell. When we're inspiring and motivating people, and that's why I love what I do, because when I was younger, for example, when I was younger, I always said if I wasn't a physician, I would have been a high school counselor, because I wanted to empower and encourage youth to go after their dreams, because I believe that I believe that people can accomplish whatever they want with hard work and with persistence and with determination. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. It doesn't matter what your history is. It doesn't matter what your current or past circumstances were. All what matters is your self-belief, determination, your drive. So understanding, guys, that we need to be painting the picture in our stories and helping them see. It's not enough to just say, this is what you're going to get, or I'm looking for this. Painting the picture in your storytelling so that the customer will see what they can possibly have. Okay? All right, so that's it. This is a character with a problem meets a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action that results in either success or failure. Okay, so those are the steps to creating a story. Was this helpful? Was this helpful, guys? Let's see. That was me when I met you. Yeah, awesome. I wanted to be able, these are the comments from before. But yeah, so guys, these are the steps in crafting a story. And I want you guys to really be thinking about, as you're writing your copy, as you're writing your posts, really thinking about, am I identifying these things? Am I helping to make this clear to people? Am I really crafting a good story for people so that they'll go ahead and connect with me? Because people want to be connected. We just have to be better at communicating. And there's a science behind it. This is the science that all major brands follow. And and a good way to get good at this, guys, too, is to just be mindful and start when you're hearing a commercial or you're watching a movie, start identifying that's the character, that's the problem, that's the external problem, that's the internal conflict. When you can start identifying and picking out in the everyday life, you'll start getting better. And now you're more aware. So now that you're aware, you'll start thinking about these things when you're writing. Okay? But these are the parts that make a good story, every story. And so just keeping that in mind. All right, guys, kept it to under 45 minutes. Any questions? Any questions right now? No questions? None? All righty. This touches base with my nerdy self, like learning to make a good paragraph. I can relate. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, there's structure. There is some structure there. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. And I'll post the recording and tag your coaches underneath it, those who are not able to come on, and we'll tag them so that they can learn as well. All right, guys. Bye.